Hi, amigos. Welcome one, welcome all. It's time for another exciting edition of the show with no name. So buckle up, because it's time for liftoff.
T-minus 10,
Come on.
9, 8,
Countdown
7,
with me, folks.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition.
Here we go.
Liftoff.
Are you pumped?
Liftoff. 30
Motivado, mentalizado? Are you pumped? Are you psyched? Psych, que viene de psicología, psychology. Here we go.
Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your
And get ready for the ride of your life.
The show with no. It's show with no name time.
On Vaughn Radio. Come on. Let's go. Welcome. Show with no namers. Time for another exciting edition of your interactive, wacky, chiflado, claro que sí. Your interactive, wacky English class here on Vaughn Radio, where you've got classes 24/7, 365. Yeah, that means all day, every day. You've got the Pro Bow Show with Rob Grams. No Excuses with Fitz. Richard Vaughn Live. Speak English with Ruby. The Salad with Dave Boys. Speaking with Confidence with Ale. And wait for it. We've got a new show debuting here on Vaughn Radio, and I am excited to share that news with you. Let me give you the info. I've got the 411. The 411 is another way to say the information. On Saturday from 4 to 5 p.m. It's a weekly show, not a daily show. Starting the 23rd of May, we've got a brand new show called Tell Me Your Story with Linda Scaperotto. I don't know if I pronounced it right. I think so. Scaperotto. And sounds like she's of Italian descent. I've got to be honest, I don't know her, but we're all really excited to welcome her aboard. So I want you guys to give her all that energy that you give me every day and all my other friends here on Vaughn Radio. Tune in for the debut Saturday, the 23rd of May. Okay, so that's right around the corner. What's today's date? Oh, yeah, this coming Saturday. And it's a show where she's going to talk to interesting people, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. Linda Scaperotto. The name of the show is Tell Me Your Story, and it debuts on Saturday, the 23rd of May. Give her lots of support. Give her a warm welcome. Make her feel right at home. Give her the same energy you guys give us, and you'll make her day. You'll make her week. You'll make her month. So we're really excited about this. That's always great when we have new shows on the air. And new voices, new opinions, new outlooks. I know you know Microsoft Outlook. Well, an outlook is a perspective. So welcome her, and she's from Philly. In West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground is where she spent most of her days, chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all shooting some b-ball outside of the school when a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in her neighborhood. She got in one little fight and her mom got scared. She said, "You're moving to Madrid and in Bel Air." No. Well, Philadelphia, Philly in the house. Philly, the city of brotherly love, if I'm not mistaken. the home of the Philly cheesesteak. And who else? Rocky Balboa, the Italian stallion. I don't know how they translate that in the Rocky movies. Well, Italian, you know, italiano. And a stallion is semental, garañón. In Argentina, I was going to say Colorado. Colombia and Colorado have the same initials. And other parts, Honduras, padrón. So it's the male horse, the Italian stallion. Well, the magnificent mare. Mira, le acabo de dar yo un nombre aquí. La yegua, la jaca, magnificent. The magnificent mare. So join her. Make her feel welcome. I know you will. So there's the info. You've got the 411 Saturday, the 23rd of May. Brand spanking new show called Tell Me Your Story with Linda Scaperotto. Don't miss it. I know I'm going to tune in. I just set an alarm, in fact, because, you know, Saturdays, as you know, I'm as a dad, well, always got a million plans. Not me, my little one. So I set an alarm, real easy. It's just, I know with my phone, I'm not going to say it, but I say my assistant's name. I say, hey, Beery. I'm going to say Beery. We all know it's with an S. Said, remind me on Saturday, May 23rd at 4 p.m., Linda's new show. Done. I don't have to do anything else, and I will be tuning in. So I hope you'll join us as well. I don't know if she's going to have live interaction like many of our shows do, including this one, but stay tuned. That's the only way to really know. And speaking of interaction, I think you guys know what time it is right now. Time for our first challenge of the day. It's the Say What soundbite. Yes. Say what? Yes. What? Say what, say what, say what? Also, folks, it is around the corner. I better start preparing. I have a couple questions, but I still have tons of work to do on our Vaughn Radio Trivia Nights. I know many of you have already marked your calendars. June 2nd, the 2nd of June, 2026. And you want to know some info? You guys know Nacho? Nacho, who was at Vaughn Radio before I started. He left about a year or two ago. I lose track of time. Pierdo la noción del tiempo. But you know him. Nacho, macho man. I've got to be a Nacho man. Well, Nacho has confirmed. Now, nothing is ever set in stone, especially when you have kids. You're like, I'll be there. And then when your kids get sick and you're not there. So, from what I've heard, and it's from the source, de la fuente, straight from the horse's mouth, como va la expresión, Nacho, our former technician, will be there. That's going to be awesome. And I know many other students are going to be there as well. Students who are coming from all corners of Spain. It is going to be a very special evening. It's a free event that we have once a month. This is the last one before our summer break. It is June 2nd, 2026. Get there at 7:30, 7:45, because at 8 o'clock, we kick off. Oh, and of course, my daughter's going to be there. She doesn't come to all of them because, well, it's a late night. You know, when you have school the next morning, especially for kids, it can be a late night, but she wouldn't miss it for anything in the world. So we'll see you there. We'll see you on June 2nd at the Toast Tap Room in Malasaña. You can get more information over at Vaughn's website, grupovaughn.com. You can also follow Vaughn on social media. I imagine they'll be posting about it along with other special events that we've got coming up and special deals and all that jazz. Y todo lo demás, todo el resto. So follow us, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on X, whether you're on Instagram, whatever social media platform you're on. We're also on YouTube, which I've been sharing lately some of the videos that we filmed. I know with Rob Graham's, we filmed, I don't know how many hours and hours and hours of video. Well, yeah, I could tell you exactly. Let's see, 50 shows, 30 minutes each show. Do the math. And then we did, I think, 3 or 4 seasons of that. So you've literally got, oh my God, that's just with me. And then there are shows with other presenters as well as Jimena, who used to work here with us. Ruby's got a show, Kyle Miller. So make sure you're following us on social media too, because you get free English classes. And I know some of you prefer video. You know, this way you're looking at the lips, you're watching, you know, the way the sound is made. And hey, I get it. Sometimes you want to listen to something and sometimes you want to watch something. Well, we'll be there for you. That's right. We'll be there for you. And yeah, wherever, on whatever platform you are, check us out. Just search for Grupo Vaughn and you will find us. All right, let's see. Now, today's Say What soundbite. Let me take a look at it and see how hard or easy I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be really easy today. So that means I expect a lot of participation. Also, there's a really good phrasal verb in here that I use. I actually use it very often. Anybody who's an idea person, who's creating ideas or coming up with solutions to things, anybody who works with teams. I don't mean Microsoft Teams. I mean like real teams. Well, this is a way to share ideas. So it's a great, great phrasal verb. In fact, that's one of the reasons that I chose this audio excerpt. So everybody listen carefully. This is your Say What soundbite for the first time. As you know, I want you to just tell me what you heard in your best English. Okay. Now, if you're not participating in the group or if you're listening at another time, hey, say it aloud. Well, I heard a guy who seems angry because his friend let him down. Todo vale. De hecho, casi mejor que lo digas en voz alta que escribirlo. Y si lo escribes, pues dilo en voz alta también. Remember, we're always trying to practice our spoken English whenever we can. All right. And good luck. Here it is for the first time.
And, you know, I mean, she gets pretty used to me. She's always been part of the process, actually. She's always the first person I bounce it off of. So sometimes she gives me full attention. Other times she kind of like won't give me the reaction I'm looking for, maybe.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughntown, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughntown, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovaughn.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughntown. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz.
quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz.
That's right, folks. It is our pop quiz here on the show with no name. This is where we take a look at one of the many materials that you can use from our Von Tienda, materials that are directed at self-study. So yeah, great. Maybe you're really motivated and you need some reading material, which again, I like to call them more than books, resources, right? Because a book is, well, you read it and that's that. But these have audio. Some of them have audio and video, like Kyle Miller's Business English. And don't forget, in fact, let me share the link with you here in the live chat. There we go. And this way, it's just one click away. We have got some killer deals going on right now at the Von Tienda. Habla inglés como un nativo. Ejercicios y gramática para un inglés fluido. 10 euros and 47 cents. And yes, it comes with downloadable audio. You've also got stuff for the kids, 3 euros and 15 cents. And you've got Robots Gone Wild, My English Robot, Taking the Town Hall, Chaos at the Zoo, The Lost Grandmother. These are all available for $3.15 each. They're for different ages, 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 6 to 7, 7 to 8. So it depends, but take a look around. I just shared the link with you. Also, if you're trying to prepare your B1 or your C1, you can get either one of those collections for $59.48. So that's under $60. You've got the Diccionario Prohibido del Inglés. I think you guys would love that one. Hey, knowing you guys, because I know you like to learn those things, the good, the bad, the stuff that everybody needs to know, right? And Canciones con Animales en Inglés by the very talented Dave Boys, the host of The Salad here on Vaughn Radio. You've also got with Julia Nowitzki. Oh, what an amazing, talented individual Julia is. Even though she is not with the company now, she is still in touch with many of us because, well, we don't want to lose touch with such an amazing person. And that is Julia Nowitzki. She's got a book called Panda Kitchen, Las Recetas de Panda Kitchen. Obviously, they come with audio. So that is a great activity book to learn vocabulary from the kitchen, cooking. And you can pick that up for 11 euros and 3 cents. You've also got word maps. That's Richard Brown. Speaking of talented individuals, 10 euros and 45 cents. He picks apart, I think, 30 different verbs and really makes you understand their most common usage. You've got marketing English. You ready for this? €1.60. If you work in marketing or advertising, you need this. And for €1.60, coffee's more expensive. Yeah, that's right. Seriously. Business letters, €5. 1.5. Are we serious here? Jeez, we are giving away these materials. And what better time than before the summer when, you have a little more extra time. The days are longer. So, you need that reading material. And let me be honest. Yeah, you can download books on your phone or on your Kindle. But is there anything like really holding the material, a tangible material in your hand? I think not. All right. So today we're going to take a look at Conversaciones en Inglés. Now, Conversaciones en Inglés is another amazing book that has typical conversations that you would hear. Now, I'm going to ask you questions based on this conversation that we're going to hear right now. So as always, I want you to pay attention carefully and we'll see what you can extract from this audio. Here goes.
Well, here we are in the heart of Silicon Valley at the headquarters of Peach Technologies, the world's leading manufacturer of high-tech gadgets. And I'm talking with Larry Bell, the company's CEO and visionary. Larry, thanks for taking the time out today to talk to us.
Well, my pleasure, Ron. It's good to see you again.
If we could start off today with you telling us a little bit about this amazing room where we're conducting this interview. It looks like something out of a futuristic science fiction movie.
This part of the complex is the creative hub of Peach Technologies. This is just one of a series of rooms where our creative designers and engineers come together to try to come up with new ideas for the market.
How involved are you with that daily creative process?
Well, it's my job to create a long-term vision for the company and its products. I'll come up with an idea for a product, and then I'll leave it to everybody else to make sure that the vision is able to come to life.
How long does it take for that process? I mean, from the time you come up with an idea to the moment when that product comes onto the market.
That's a tough one to answer. You know, I never really feel that we ever finish making products. Every time we launch a new piece of technology on the market, it's just an ongoing part of the latest in a series of improvements and advancements on the previous model.
Wow, it comes as a big surprise to hear that. So you're telling me that you're never completely happy with any product you launch?
Well, don't put words into my mouth. I didn't say that I'm not happy with our products. Of course, when a new product of ours comes onto the market, you can be sure that it's going to be the best and most innovative one in its category. But that doesn't mean it can't be improved upon. The most important thing for the company is the search for excellence and perfection. But I don't think either of those can ever truly be realized.
What would you say your greatest achievement has been?
I think it's dangerous to look back on past achievements because there's a danger you might rest on your laurels and become complacent. I'll have time to look on achievements when I've retired.
Well, looking forward in that case, can you tell us what products you're currently working on and what wonders we can expect to see from Peach in the future?
I wouldn't trust my wife with that information, let alone a journalist.
Well, here we are in the heart of Silicon Valley at the headquarters of Peach Technologies, the world's leading manufacturer of high-tech gadgets. And I'm talking with Larry Bell, the company's CEO and visionary. Larry, thanks for taking the time out today to talk to us.
Well, my pleasure, Ron. It's good to see you again.
If we could start off today with you telling us a little bit about this amazing room where we're conducting this interview. It looks like something out of a futuristic science fiction movie.
This part of the complex is the creative hub of Peach Technologies. This is just one of a series of rooms where our creative designers and engineers come together to try to come up with new ideas for the market.
How involved are you with that daily creative process?
Well, it's my job to create a long-term vision for the company and its products. I'll come up with an idea for a product, and then I'll leave it to everybody else to make sure that the vision is able to come to life.
How long does it take for that process? I mean, from the time you come up with an idea to the moment when that product comes onto the market.
That's a tough one to answer. You know, I never really feel that we ever finish making products. Every time we launch a new piece of technology on the market, it's just an ongoing part of the latest in a series of improvements and advancements on the previous model.
Wow. It comes as a big surprise to hear that. So you're telling me that you're never completely happy with any product you launch?
Well, don't put words into my mouth. I didn't say that I'm not happy with our products. Of course, when a new product of ours comes onto the market, you can be sure that it's going to be the best and most innovative one in its category. But that doesn't mean it can't be improved upon. The most important thing for the company is the search for excellence and perfection. But I don't think either of those can ever truly be realized.
What would you say your greatest achievement has been?
I think it's dangerous to look back on past achievements because there's a danger you might rest on your laurels and become complacent. I'll have time to look on achievements when I've retired.
Well, looking forward in that case, can you tell us what products you're currently working on and what wonders we can expect to see from Peach in the future?
I wouldn't trust my wife with that information, let alone a journalist.
All right, folks, as you can see, the second one was a lot easier to understand, wasn't it? Sure, with no background noise. But remember this, life comes with background noise. You can't drown out all the other sounds. So I'm curious to see how much you guys got on that first go. The second go was much easier because, well, as I said, there was no background noise. But the first one is more like real life. Folks, we'll be right back with much more Show with No Name. So stick around. Yes, welcome back, folks. Welcome back. This is the second part of today's Show with No Name. I thank you so much. Really, I'm so lucky to have such amazing students. Wait, I don't choose who listens to Vaughn Radio. You guys choose us. So thank you. Thank you for choosing us. Call it fate. Destino. We've really got an amazing group of people, and many of you I know in person, which is awesome. Many of you I know your kids. Seriously. Talk about a family vibe. All right, folks, here's what I want from you in today's pop quiz. By the way, tons of people participating already. We'll get to your comments in just a moment. The first word, and I want you to use it in context, as always. A mí no me valen palabras sueltas. Quiero que construyas. Sede o oficina central. Number one, sede o oficina central. I know you know the word. Hey, it's a word that comes from the military. Did you know that? Oh, yeah. And it's used in the corporate world these days. The next one, probably, speaking of ideas, one of these phrasal verbs that is synonymous when we're talking about ideas. Inventarse, elaborar, conseguir algo, dar con algo. Okay? So si yo te digo, ¿cómo inventaste esto? ¿Cómo conseguiste eso? It's a phrasal verb. We heard it in that audio, and we use it with the word idea very often. Plan, idea, scheme. And the last one, it's one you use in Spanish too, in fact. I've heard you guys say it. And it is dormirse en los laureles. Dormirse, so it's to be complacent. That's another adjective that we heard in there. To be complacent, right? To be, complacent means obviously you're not challenging yourself. And we all know that. That's where we can be stagnant. Stagnant es como agua, que no, estancado, stagnant. Really good adjectives we're looking at here so far. All right, so the first one is sede. And I remember I used to make a mistake. El sede is la sede, right? Well, because acaba con E. So for me, it's like mapa. It's el mapa, la mapa. ¿Ves? Ahora no me sale decirlo mal, right? O el tribu. No, la tribu. Say, hey, you live and learn. How do you think I learned all those mistakes, common ones? Well, by making them. So don't ever be afraid to make mistakes. It's the only way to learn, right? If not, you're becoming complacent. You're not leaving your comfort zone. And we all know the importance of leaving your comfort zone. That's where life starts. That's where you feel alive again. So the first one, la sede, en contexto, por favor. The second one, dar con una idea, inventarse algo. Elaborar, armar, it says here. So it's to devise, but we would never say, I devised a plan. Just sounds more like, I don't know, it sounds like an evil genius. He devised a plan to conquer the planet. It's too much. So we use the phrasal verb. It sounds much more common. And the last one is, again, one you use in Spanish, and it's dormirse en los laureles. Used all three of them in context as always, and we'll take a look at your comments in just a moment. Let me give you the Say What soundbite, which I see Anix and Laura, they've already, casi uso la palabra, fíjate, elaborar. Wow. Just to show you how common the word is, I almost just used it a second ago. All right, well, we'll see what their thoughts are on the Say What soundbite. Here it is for the second time.
And, you know, I mean, she gets pretty used to me. She's always been part of the process, actually. She's always the first person I bounce it off of. So sometimes she gives me full attention. Other times she kind of like won't give me the reaction I'm looking for, maybe.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damian, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
Vaughantienda.com.
It's the shit.
That's right, folks. This book is the shit, one of the many materials you can pick up at Von Tienda. Also, folks, how can I forget? First, a big round of applause for our student who is ahead of the game, born to Iron Man, because he's already done it. He has participated in our Say What soundbite. Not our Say What soundbite, excuse me. Our question, algo me suena raro. Our question of the week. And this week's question Have you ever kept a journal or a diary, right? Journal or diary. A ver cómo traducen journal. Bueno, lo sabéis, the Wall Street Journal, right? Diario. Es otra forma de decir diary, right? So diary or journal. Have you ever kept one? And tell us about it. Maybe you still do. Some people keep a journal, bitácora, right, of what they're eating, their progress on their diet, whatever. So it doesn't have to be something you only do when you were a kid. I got a crush on Bobby, but he won't pay any attention to me. Yeah, that's fine too. Sure. Okay. I remember, I can tell you my answer now. We kept a journal. I had a creative writing class in college. I wrote a journal when I was younger in high school, you know, when your hormones are all over the place. But also, I remember keeping a journal during a creative writing class, and it was amazing. I'll never forget that teacher. I'll never forget that class, because he writing your thoughts and, you know, brainstorming. And I was, wow, there's a lot of stuff in there. And unless you access it, it just stays in there. So, you know, it's not just something you do when you're a teenager, is what I'm saying. Maybe some of you keep a journal these days, right? So, my amigos, that is your question of the week. It is a weekly speaking section. And, well, as you know, this is probably, well, maybe some of you are in classes with us in our master's program, but if not, you won't have too many opportunities to speak, right? Well, to speak, yeah, you can speak all day long in English if you want, but you won't have opportunities for somebody to correct you and say, cuidado, no, esto se dice así, no, no, situation. ¿Cuánta oído situation? I'm telling you, I'd be rich if I had a nickel, 5 céntimos por cada vez. For you to practice your speaking and get some feedback from your teacher. Moi. All right? So do it. Do it if you haven't done it. Now, I've got to say, recently, in the past couple weeks, we have broken records. We've had like 12 or 13 people participating. And I remember weeks where there were only 4, almost tripling the numbers from when we started doing this section, which is, that's all you guys saying, you know what? Me toca. My turn to practice my English. And all of you have made progress. Why? Because you're doing it consistently. And it's exactly what I do with my daughter. You want to get good at anything, you got to do it not once, not twice, not 3 times. You got to do it consistently. No puedo hablar. Maybe I should practice speaking more often. I don't speak enough. Yeah, right. But you get my point. ¿Entendéis a lo que voy? The more you practice something, the easier it gets. You know, I always use the guitarist. Do you see them doing the work? Did you see Jimi Hendrix looking at the guitar, stressed out, like, oh, no, my fingers got to go here. No, oh, wait, no. No, he feels it. In fact, most great guitarists close their eyes. Why? Because they're feeling it. Because they've done that work. And that's what we're doing here on Vaughn Radio. We're doing the work here, so next time you're having a conversation, you're not stressed out. You're training your ear. You're training your speaking. That's why I always tell you guys to repeat stuff aloud, so that when you're out there in the real world having a conversation in English, no one's seeing you do the work. The work is being done behind closed doors. You never saw Eddie Van Halen looking at his guitar. In fact, as I said, it's closed most of the time because he felt where the note was. He played it so many times that his fingers knew exactly where to go and where not to go. And when he made a mistake, he wouldn't even have to, look at it. He would feel that, I played that a little bit off. He would know it in an instant. And that's what we're looking for. That's mastery. And that only comes through practice. Practice and practice and more practice until you feel comfortable. And practice doesn't have to mean doing push-ups. You don't have to stress yourself, especially with language. Listen to Vaughn Radio. Right there, you're practicing every day. At least you're training your ear to understand all different accents, because that's what we've got here. On Vaughn Radio, you'll hear every accent under the sun. All right, let's take a look at today's pop quiz. We were looking at conversaciones en inglés. Again, you can pick this up over at Von Tienda, along with many other tremendous deals that we've got going on. A couple words I wanted to highlight over here. The word gadget. That's a word we hear a lot about these days. A gadget or a device, right? Aparato, artefacto. I've never heard anybody call it artefacto, because that's a false friend. An artifact in English is something that's, like an arrowhead that they find at an Indian burial ground. That's an artifact, right? Something with historical significance, right? I've heard this one, dispositivo, aparato. So a gadget or a device. Hey, our lives are full of gadgets and devices. Let's see another word that's very common these days, hub. And we use hub. I imagine many of you who work in IT, you know the word hub. But also Dubai is a hub, right? In fact, nobody goes to Dubai. At least I don't think so. Usually you're going to Dubai to go somewhere else. So es un centro, un núcleo, right? So, and like, mira, Aeropuerto Central, Aeropuerto Internacional. Well, Heathrow is a hub. Madrid. A lot of people come to Madrid. But the question is, do people come here and then go somewhere else? What is it? Nuevos Ministerios is a hub. Atocha is a hub. A lot of different things connecting in, right? But it comes from, you know where it comes from? El buje, el cubo, the center part of a wheel. And if you think about it, you look at Dubai airport, it's in, out. The lines of people coming, going to Singapore, going to other places, right? So hub. And then they talk about it too. Madrid is a business hub. Un centro, un núcleo, un meollo. Great word, and it's a buzzword, a word that you'll see everywhere these days, not just in IT, right? A USB hub, for example. Conector, algo que conecta, un meollo. Also, to come to life. I think that one's pretty easy. Cobrar vida. To come to life. They use the word launch as well. Just be careful. I've heard people say lunch. Yeah. So lunch es la comida. Launch es lanzamiento. Okay? O lanzar, el verbo. Lanzar o lanzamiento. Two words that we're going to look at right now, and I want everybody to say these words aloud with me. Product, no product. You know how many times I've heard product? Okay, well, this is why I want you to say it. Como Prada, la marca esta Prada. Product. No product, product. We are a product of our environment. The CEO of McDonald's called the burger our product. That didn't go over very well. No le salió como él quería. The product, people are like, first, you took a bite from the burger like it was the most disgusting thing in the world. And second, you called food the product. Ooh, yeah. Well, it just showed the guy was out of touch. No está desfasado el tío. Doesn't know what's going on in the real world. And maybe in his corporate world, he does, but not in the real world. Calling food a product to your customers doesn't sound good. And then if you've seen the video I'm talking about, he takes a bite like he's being forced, like he's got terrorists there, like who kidnapped him, saying, okay, guy, take a bite right now. We're going to blow your head off. Okay. So product, say it with me, product. Another one, project. Otro, no es project. Project. So vamos a decir las dos. Product, project. Dilo conmigo, no te oigo. Claro, porque no funciona la tecnología así. Pero bueno, I can feel you. Product, project. Another word we heard too, to manufacture. Fabricar. Ahora, muy difícil la persona que el fabricante. Manufacturer. It's a tough one. Well, that's why I wanted to highlight it. So the manufacturer. The other one I just said before. It's not CEO in English. It's CEO. CEO. The same way it's not VIP, it's VIP. Another one we heard, complex and complex. So a complex is, well, a complex is a group of buildings together. Complex means difficult. Okay. Another word that people often mispronounce, engineers. I've heard many, many different variations of this word. Engineers. Es como decir motor, orejas. Engine, ears. Engineers. I love what they call them at Disney. They call them Imagineers. Well, because they're engineers who have to use their imagination. Engineers. Imagineers at Disney. Another word I've heard mispronounced. Proceso. People say proces. I get it, porque la C es en español, pero en inglés tienes que verlo como una S. Process. Process. I've heard it too with December. No, December. O sea, en tu cabeza, olvídate la C esa. Ya sabes escribirlo, ¿no? Pues quítalo. En tu cabeza tienes que reemplazarlo con una S. This is a tough process. Otra palabra que vimos. That's a tough one. Cuando alguien te hace una pregunta difícil, that's a tough one. Que lo dijo Drew en el audio. He was playing the role of the CEO. So process. Tough. Otra palabra que es difícil de pronunciar. Tough. Rough. Laugh. Todas esas palabras acaban con GH, pero suena como una F. Tough. Y son palabras que se usan bastante. Cough. Cough. Tough. Laugh. Rough. I hope you're repeating these with me. That's why we're highlighting them. Another word we saw there is achievement. To achieve, lograr. Well, an achievement, usa el artículo an achievement, un logro. All right, folks, a couple things that I wanted to highlight from this amazing material called Conversaciones in English, available right now at Vaughn Tienda, where you can pick up so many different materials and some of them for around €1. €5. You've even got full courses, Tu Profesor en Casa, Avanzado, Curso Intensivo. Are you ready for this? €10 and 45 cents. So that's your coffee budget for the week. Es tu presupuesto de café para la semana. That's what I'm talking about. And you get a full English course. You've also got Tu Profesor en Casa Principiante o Intermedio, depending on, which one suits you. I always say go lower than you are. Why? Because you should know everything then. And if you have any difficulty, then maybe you're not, so high, or at least such a high level than you think you are. And I've seen it. I've seen it many, many times. Students say, I'm a, C2, and then, they use some great vocabulary. They seem comfortable speaking, but then they say, he were. And I'm like, he were? What do you mean he were? O sea, se equivocan con el ser o el estar. So be careful too. Sometimes we go so far that we get ahead of ourselves and then we forget the basics. And we all know the importance of a strong foundation. Cimientos fuertes. We've also got the Curso de Inglés Definitivo Business. $18.85. That's under $20. 2 books, a DVD, and a CD or MP3. Obviously, you can download it. Para triunfar. Es para triunfar en el trabajo. You've got La Trilogía del Inglés, speaking, writing, and reading, grammar, pronunciation, and, there are 4 books. No veo lo que pone la última aquí, but you can get 4 materials for €20 and 95 cents. Again, the reason I'm making so much noise here is I've never seen, usually it was probably about $20.95 per book in that collection. You get what I'm saying? So do it, especially with the summer around the corner. I just shared the link. If not, you can go to grupovaughn.com, go to the section that says Vaughn Tienda, and take advantage of these amazing offers, because I know you guys will make the most of it. I know it. I know that if you get these materials, you'll extract every little juicy tidbit out of it that you've got to. Tidbit, trocito, píldoras, right? You've also got the pack de los imprescindibles. You got common mistakes, frases clave, 3,600 palabras claves. This is 6 books with audio for €21 and 90 cents. Hey, You guys know where to go. Let's see who's with us here in our chat room, ready to rock and roll. Born to Iron Man, there he is, checking in. He says, hi, friends. What's up, Born to Iron Man? Great job. He is ahead of the game. Hey, he's an athlete, an elite athlete, so it's no surprise that he is always ahead of the game. He sent us his question of the week this weekend. I got it. So thank you very much, Born to Iron Man, and welcome aboard. In fact, I thought about you this weekend because on social media, I taught the expression on your bike. On your bike is vete a freír espárragos. Vete a tomar viento. On your bike. Me encanta. Es muy británico, eh? We say take a long walk off a short pier. Take a hike, pero esa Born to Iron Man estaba hecha para ti. On your bike, lárgate. Otra que me encanta, que es muy americana, kick rocks. Dale patadas a rocas, o sea, vete de aquí. Cuando queremos largar a alguien. There's Juan Carlos. What's up, Juan Carlos? He says, hi, and congratulations on your great participation. Really inspiring. I imagine you're talking to our friend Born to Iron Man. No doubt about it. I always say he is one of our ambassadors. He represents, like Chris, like Laura, like Anix, like Elena, certain students who represent the ones that can't be with us when we're live, right? So they are the ones who are taking over for you guys, ¿no? Reemplazándote mientras estáis haciendo el trabajo, lo que tengáis que hacer. And remember, you can hear this show on the mornings on Vaughn Radio on what time? 6:30 to 8:30 a.m. And you've also got the show from 6 to 8 p.m. And if you can't listen in any of those times, well, guess what? You've got us also on your favorite podcast platform. So you have no excuses. And that's not just the name of Fitz's show, but it is our philosophy. Folks, we have got to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to take a look at your comments. We've got a lot of participation. We've got homophones. We've got our Say What soundbite. And so much more. So, stick around. Yes. Welcome back. Welcome back, folks. This is your show. It's not mine. Well, it's our show. I prepare it with TLC. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Bueno, TLC, no? I don't want no scrubs. Scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging out the passenger side of his best friend's ride. Well, TLC is also tender, loving care. El toque de cariño. I think what you need for anything in life. A little bit of TLC. All right, folks. Well, in this part of the show, we're going to take a look at our homophones challenge. We'll also listen to the Say What soundbite for the third time. We'll take a look at some more comments. Wow, we've got a lot of people participating. This is wonderful news. Excellent to see so many people excited about learning English. Brilliant. Your energy inspires me. I'm serious. When I see you guys, what's my excuse for not continuing to learn Spanish every day? And I do it Every time I hear a word, somebody says, bueno, es que tal, and I'm like, espera, creo que te he entendido por el contexto, pero ¿qué significa eso? I ask. And you know what? People are more than happy to help. That's what I've noticed. Because a lot of times, what if I make a mistake? Well, then ask. What's the worst that can happen? Most people like explaining things, makes them feel smart. So ask. I tell my daughter all the time, I go, if you don't know something, ask. The other option is sitting there completely ignorant. Okay. I don't know if that's going to get you anywhere. Ask. Ask away. Ask away. Pregunta sin parar. Oh, and she does. Sometimes my answer is, I don't know, honey. I didn't write the movie. She's like, yeah, but Dad, why did he do that? Why did they play that music? When I'm like, honey, I don't know. I'm like, you're gonna have to ask the writer of the screenwriter. I don't know. So yeah, she asks, even when sometimes it's like, well, you're asking me a question I could never know the answer to. And then you know what she said to me the other day? Well, ask the screenwriter. And I said, well, I don't know who he is. So talk about total curiosity there. All right, my amigos, here's a little challenge for you. It's homophones on the show with no name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
All right. Let's take a look at these words that tend to throw people off. And we'll see if you guys can figure out A, what the words are, and B, if they sound exactly the same. This first one has many, many meanings. Tablón o tabla. Okay, tablón o tabla. Tablero. Pizarra. Consejo o junta de una empresa. Okay. El comité, el consejo, la junta. It's also alojamiento y comida, pensión completa. We looked at the word maybe last week it was. It's also embarcarse. De hecho, siempre te digo welcome. Okay. What else? It's also the examination, the exam that medical students must pass in the United States. They call it the panel examinador, el MIR in español, M-I-R, MIR. It's the exam that you need to become a doctor in the United States. Also, it's estar interno, como ir a una escuela de internado. Okay, so again, it's got many, many meanings. It's also sellar, enviar, embarcar. Wow, and wow. So definitely one of those words we need to know how to pronounce because it's got so many uses. And the second one, aburrido. Yeah, that one's only got one. Oh, wow. See, en serio? Yeah, that one's only got one usage that I know of. Okay. So the second word is aburrido. And the first word is all those meanings, which we will look at in context just to make sure you've got them all. All right, those are your two words in our homophone section. We'll see if you're A, familiar with them, and B, know if they sound exactly the same or not. Also, here's your Say What soundbite. I think it's an easy one, as I said. Here it is for the third time.
And you know, I mean, she gets pretty used to me. She's always been part of the process, actually. She's always the first person I bounce it off of. So sometimes she gives me full attention. Other times she kind of like won't give me the reaction I'm looking for, maybe.
Who's ready for our upcoming trivia night?
Ready to rock, Daddy?
Do you have the info?
Sure, it's Tuesday, June 2nd, at the Toast Tap Room at 8 p.m. Hosted by you.
Nos vemos el martes 2 de junio a las 8 de la tarde para el próximo Vaughn Trivia Night.
Be there, be square, amigos.
She's a natural. What can I say? She's going to take my job. And she's cuter than me. So I love, my dad says sometimes, he goes, oh, she's just, I'm like, oh, she is light years ahead of me when I was her age. And she's light years ahead of me now. The other day at the park, she did like 20 pull-ups and chin-ups. Now you call them both dominadas, but for us, it's different. A pull-up is when your hands are facing out. And a chin-up is when your hands are facing in on the bar, right? Dominadas. And she can do both. I can't do one of either one. Now, in Spanish, my wife said they're both dominadas. That's weird. That luego decís que el español es más rico que el inglés, no sé yo. Chin-up is the one, again, where your palms are facing you. And a pull-up is when your palms are facing out. And she can do, like, she was doing them like left and right. Venga, otros tres. Okay, ahora chin-up, ahora pull. I was like, now, I have to say something. She does CrossFit twice a week. So she can kick your butt, my butt, and everybody all together. Well, that's the idea. And nobody's going to bully her. All right, let's go on over here to our chat room. We've got so many amigos participating. And by the way, she says amigos too. That wasn't me telling her what to say. I said, well, what do you want to say? And we kind of wrote the cuña, the radio ad together. And she goes, can I say be there or be square, amigos? Because I think it was one that we said a couple times ago when I hosted the trivia night. So we are excited. We were working on that this Saturday. I think it was Friday. Friday was a holiday, so we were working on that radio ad. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as we enjoyed putting it together. All right, let's see. There's Onyx in the house. What's up, Onyx? She says, hey, everyone. Hey there. See, I know your voice so well, I can imitate you. Hey there. Say what? She says, I heard a British man in an interview. He's talking about a woman and how important she is in a certain process. Yes. The only thing is he's not British. Let me see where he's from. Let's see. He was born in Oahu, Hawaii. So he's Hawaiian. That's funny. It reminds me of a story. I was teaching a student very low level. And I said, hey, Antonella, ask me how I am. Pregúntame cómo estoy. I said, ask me how I am. She goes, Hawaiian? Hawaiian? I said, no. So the guy's Hawaiian. So, interesting there. But you're spot on with your observations, Onyx. There's lovely Laura. She says, hello, lovely show with no namers. Let's kickstart the week in the best possible way with our one-of-a-kind teacher, Double A. I love it. To kickstart es lo que haces con una moto. Right? To kickstart. Literalmente das, ¿no? Con el pie. To kickstart. Hay una canción de Motley Crue, Kickstart My Heart. Y luego conocéis Kickstarter. It's a way to raise money for a new business. So kickstart. Kickstart. Arrancar. Hacer arrancar. To kickstart. I love it, Laura. Totally native. All right. Laura's saying something about today's Say What soundbite. She says, I heard an American man who speaks a mile a minute. Okay, yeah, it's true. He is a little bit fast. American, yes. Hawaiian. And he's talking about a woman he always likes to bounce his projects off to be able to get her feedback. That woman is his wife. So yeah, he's asking his wife for some feedback on one of his creative projects. Her comments must be very valuable to him. Absolutely. And that's the phrasal verb, to bounce ideas off someone. Let's meet up and bounce ideas off of each other. No, boing, ¿qué te parece tal? Sí, pero ¿qué si le damos una vuelta tal? It's a really important thing to do when you have an idea, right? Lo compartes. Te dicen, me gusta esto, pero ¿qué si haces esto? Right? It's to share ideas and build on them. Literalmente botar ideas, ¿no? Uno al otro. Boing, boing, to bounce ideas off of each other. Great, great ear, Laura and Anix. Let's see. Born to Iron Man says, Vaughn headquarters are in Madrid. That's right, headquarters. The only thing is, I looked it up. You can say is or are. I would say is, because it's a collective noun. So personally, I would say our headquarters is located in tal, because you're talking about, even though it has an S, you're talking about one building. But I looked it up, and the internet never lies to you, and it said that some people use are, okay? Personally, I would use it as a singular, as a collective noun, como he dicho, but that's up to you because both are correct. So Vaughn headquarters are in Madrid. I would say Vaughn headquarters is in Madrid. Great job. Headquarters. Again, it comes from the military. Quarters. The word quarters is your living area. So the head is de los cabezas, right? So quarters, distrito, barrio. Well, the French Quarter. If you go down to New Orleans, the French Quarter. A ver, quarters, cuartel. Ahí lo tienes. So es cuartel de los cabezas. Headquarters. That's where the word comes from. Again, it's a military term. Great. Okay, the next one. How did you come up with that? Buenísimo. To come up with. We use it all the time. Well, I came up with it when I was, bouncing ideas off of some friends. Para usarlo en el contexto con la otra palabra. Right? Doc Brown. Remember Doc Brown? Back to the Future? He came up with the idea for the flux capacitor when he slipped on his toilet bowl and hit his head. Ahí tienes un contexto de la cultura popular. That's where he came up with the idea of the flux capacitor. What makes time travel possible, Marty? All right. And the last one, Real Madrid shouldn't rest on its laurels. There you go. Nosotros debemos descansar en los laureles en vez de dormir. It's too late for that, Born to Iron Man. You know me, I'm a Madridista, but no comment. No comment. They're making it hard to be a Madridista these days. So they shouldn't rest on their laurels, but they've already done it. And there's another one. Real Madrid is a great team. Real Madrid are a great team. Both are fine. Just make sure that if you use it in singular, the rest of the phrase is in singular. If you use it in plural, remember the rest of the phrase has to go in plural, as you did. Real Madrid shouldn't rest on its laurels, or you could say their laurels. Excellent job. Born to Iron Man. I expect nothing less from you. Juan Carlos is participating. He says, the headquarters of BBVA are in Madrid. Muy bien. Are or is. The next one, he says, I came up with a plan to improve your French. Monsieur, mon ami, merci beaucoup. And the last one, don't rest en vez de in is on, right? Te cambio la I por una O y lo tenemos. Don't rest on your laurels and keep up the good work or else you'll fail. Juan Carlos, just that little preposición ahí, es que preposiciones, ¿eh? Tan pequeños, pero tan jodidos. All right, let's see. Laura, the headquarters of his company are in Shanghai. Are or is. The only thing is headquarters, Laura, is one word, just so you know if you're going to write it, headquarters. But excellent job. The next one, how did you come up with that idea? Perfecto. And the last one, how did you come up with that idea? It's brilliant. And the last one, don't sleep on your laurels and keep working hard. I don't know. Let me look it up. I've never heard sleep on your laurels. Let's see. Sleep on your laurels. I've always heard rest. Me sale rest. And cuando pongo sleep en Google, me sale todos con rest. De hecho, yo cuando me equivocaba en español decía, no descanses en tus laureles. Y es no duermes. So just remember, same idea, really, really similar, but we say descansar en vez de dormir. Again, they're related, but a little bit different. Es como cuando decimos el tiempo es oro. You say, we say time is money. Well, money, gold, two valuable things. The idea is the same behind it. So excellent job. Fantastic. All right, let's see. We're also taking a look at today's homophones. Laura gives us the two words, and she says they are homophones. All right. Born to Iron Man says they sound alike. Juan Carlos agrees. Absolutely. All right. And let's see, anybody else? Let's see. Laura, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. De tal palo, tal astilla. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Lara is no doubt ahead of the game. Yeah, well, it happens sometimes in my classes. My students say, when am I going to talk like Laura? Like Lara? I'm reading your name and saying my daughter's name. Me lío. Lo bueno es que nunca le llamo Laura y a ti no te llamo Lara, pero luego hay veces que se me cruzan los cables. So, but yeah, my students say, when am I going to talk like Lara? And I said, I hate to burst your bubble. No quiero amargarte la fiesta, but you really, really got to have a good ear, and we got to work really hard. But also remember this: Lara has never said product. She's never said parrot. She's never said Spain, right? She's always said it right since the beginning. So it's like, comparing yourself to a native speaker in her case. I wouldn't do it. Just get as close as you can to somebody who you like the way they sound, right? Somebody who's always try and imitate good communicators, right? Don't imitate the guys from Oasis. Well, I sort of thought, right, straight and right. So, that's not good. They're paid to sing songs, not to communicate. They communicate through their music, not through their speaking. So, yes, she is definitely ahead of the game, no doubt about it. Well, hey, she can't have me as a dad and then have mediocre English. That would not be a good calling card. Anik says, oh, wow, Alberto Alonso is imitating my voice. What an honor. Hey there. Right or wrong, guys? Did I do a good job? You guys know Anik's voice. That's another great thing about our question of the week. We get to really get to know you guys, not just the way you speak English, but your voices. Like now when I read Nuria's name, I know what she sounds like. Elena, all of you. So that is it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. All right. So let's see. You're all saying that the words sound the same. Okay, I told the board, el comité, right, la dirección, I told the board that I was bored. Do they sound the same? Absolutely. So then here's my question. Why do people say bored, and bored if they sound the same? So the word, just think of this. The word aburrir is bore. I hope this class never bores you. B-O-R-E. Bore, bore. Pues añadimos una D. Bored. Bored, right? I hope you're not bored. Also be careful with adjectives. Sometimes you'll see that they end in ED and ING. And I had a student say, Alberto, I'm boring. She wasn't talking about in my class, in a situation at her job. Obviously. And she said, Alberto, I'm boring. I'm like, well, Alicia, I don't remember who it was. I said, you're not boring. I think you're, an interesting person. And she goes, no, I'm boring in my job. I'm like, well, I don't think that's what you're trying to say. I think you're trying to say you're bored in your job, right? So remember this, ED is the reaction, the victim, let's say, and ING is the cause. So, lo vemos. I'm interested, causa, because the class is interesting. Interesting. No. Perdona, efecto causa, right? So it's cause and effect. One causes you to be bored. No, es estar versus ser, right? So if you say, I'm boring, eres un aburrido. I'm bored, estoy aburrido. Es el efecto de otra cosa, right? I'm interested because the movie is interesting. What caused the interest? The movie, ing, the cause. The effect, the ed. I'm just telling you because there are, well, several adjectives where you'll see that the ed and the ing can be a bit confusing. So I just wanted to clear that up. So bored. And let's take a look because, as I said, bored, aburrido, that's pretty straightforward. But bored, okay? Well, this ship was made of boards, 2x4 boards, tablas o tablones. In fact, if you know, in the United States, nuestro paseo marítimo is called a boardwalk. Under the boardwalk, we'll be having some fun under the boardwalk. We'll be going along under the boardwalk. Boardwalk. There's also the show Boardwalk Empire. Why? Porque nuestros paseos marítimos están hechos de tablas de madera. Si te has fijado. Right? So makes sense. Boardwalk. Also, the board, okay? The whiteboard or the blackboard. Write it on the board, en la pizarra. Okay, the board, el comité. They've appointed 3 new members of the board, and they're very bored. Okay, also full board. We looked at it last week, pensión completa. De hecho, a veces oirás room and board, y viene de porque antiguamente, pues las mesas eran una tabla de madera. Right? So it literally comes from that. To board. Okay, that means embarcar. Okay, we're going to begin to board in 10 minutes. All aboard. Okay, you can say welcome aboard. Aboard es una palabra. Or welcome on board. Los dos te valen. Welcome aboard or welcome on board. Okay, board, hospedarse. Okay, Jason boarded with a family while he was at university. Okay. What else? He passed the board after the 3rd attempt, the medical exam. Okay, the board. Okay. The plane is going to board, ahí tenemos, embarcar, in 5 minutes. He was sent to boarding school. Internado, you say? Yeah, he was sent to boarding school. So there you go. Wonderful job. Wow. Wow and wow. You guys are on fire today. And ladies and gentlemen, we've got a winner in today's Say What soundbite. Please give it up for lovely Laura. Excellent job, Laura. Kicking butt and taking names, como decimos. Well, all of you today are doing a wonderful job. Let's see. Laura says, Anix's voice is beautiful, and she always sounds so natural. I second the motion, como decimos en inglés. I second the motion. No, esto viene de un juicio. I second the motion means I completely and totally agree. In fact, all of you sound so confident when you participate in our question of the week. And I urge you to participate. You've got plenty of time. Well, don't think like that, because then you know what happens. Do it today. Grab your phone, and in around a minute, tell us if you've ever kept a journal or a diary. Tell us about it. You don't have to tell us your deepest, darkest secrets. No. But this is all about expressing yourself in English, talking about all kinds of different topics. A wide range. Decís lo mismo. Una amplia gama. A wide range of different topics. Folks, we'll be right back with the rest of today's show with no name. So stick around. Welcome back. Welcome back, folks. This is the fourth and final part of today's show with no name here on Vaughn Radio. So much to do in this part of the show. We're going to kick things off with a double trouble. A double trouble sent to us from Elena. That's right. One of our star students, Elena. She's putting you to the test today, and I'll tell you what. Woo-hoo! She's going to make you sweat. La 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, she's going to make you sweat. Sweat till you can't sweat no more. So you've got double trouble. We've got our Say What soundbite again. And today's Say What soundbite, Laura got it already. I'm convinced. Another 2 or 3 people can figure it out. Not too tough today. I mean, once we've done Ozzy Osbourne, you can handle anything. And we've done Ozzy Osbourne. Oh, and which one was tough? The other day, Salvador Dali. Oh, my geez, Louise. That was hell on earth. All right, folks. And stay tuned, because after today's show, you've got tons of amazing programs. Plus, this Saturday, we've got a new program coming up. Really excited about that. It's always great when we have new people joining the team. So don't miss it. It's a new program where we'll get to meet some really amazing people with Linda. It's debuting this Saturday, so make sure you tune in. Download the free Vaughn Radio app, and this way you can learn, in the words of Shakira, wherever, whenever. All right, it's time for another challenge. It's double trouble. Yeah.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
That's right, amigos. It is double trouble here on the show with no name. And this one is coming to you straight from one of your fellow classmates, Elena. She's an amazing student who lives up in Galicia. In fact, I'm going there this summer for a wedding. I'm going to Pontevedra. In fact, we're flying to Vigo, where, by the way, Vaughn has offices. If you guys live in Vigo, stop by. We'd love to meet you. In fact, let me check out Vaughan Vigo. Maybe I can tell you. I don't know if my internet's going too well right now. I just tried to open a page and it didn't want to open. Academia de Inglés en Vigo, Grupo Vaughan. We are in Vigo. Where's the address? I need the address. Okay, Calle Oporto 19. Okay, in Vigo, Calle Oporto 19, not far from O Corte Inglés. I love that it's called O Corte Inglés. It's near Lavadores, near the Fortaleza de Santa María do Castro. A beautiful place. I love Vigo. So it's Rua de Oporto 19, and it's in Vigo. And check it out. Check it out because, well, as you know, we've got offices also in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Valladolid, Valencia, and Santander. Stop in and get a free level test. All right. Are you ready? This is going to be a tough one here. All right. Oye, no le des mucha caña. Recuerda que lleva cargando con el muerto, cubriendo el puesto, sacando las castañas del fuego, Comiéndose el marrón. So she's given us a bunch of different ways to say this. Okay? So, oye. You got to use the same word twice. So the first part is oye. No le des mucha caña. Okay? The second part, recuerda, que lleva cargando con el muerto, barra, cubriendo el puesto, barra, sacando las castañas del fuego, barra, comiéndose el marrón últimamente. All right? Good luck. This one's coming to us from Elena. It is a tough one. It's one that only superstars are going to be able to get today. So we shall see. Veremos. All right. Also, let me give you the Say What soundbite. Here it is for the fourth and final time.
And she gets pretty used to me. She's always been part of the process, actually. She's always the first person I bounce it off of. So sometimes she gives me full attention. Other times she kind of won't give me the reaction I'm looking for, maybe.
Me pregunta el del chiringuito si quiero hacer kitesurf o wakeboard, o si prefiero tomarme un bitter cas antes. Me acaba de decir 5 palabras en inglés. Kite, que significa cometa, surf, que es obviamente hacer surf, pero también significa oleaje. Wake, que es estela, en este caso la estela del barco. Board es tabla y bitter es amargo. Y justo antes, cuando le pregunté si hablaba inglés, me dijo,
Pero patatero.
sabemos mucho más inglés de lo que creemos. Solo nos falta asimilarlo y situarlo. Aprende a aprender inglés en cualquier lugar con This Book is the Milk y su secuela, This Book is the Milk 2. Te enseñaremos cómo enfocar el inglés, aprovechando todo el inglés que tenemos alrededor y de una manera divertida y adictiva. The Remilk ahora se llama This Book is the Milk 2 y viene con audio y nueva portada. Descúbrelos ya en vaughantienda.com.
That's right, folks. You've got a plethora of amazing materials available at Vaughn Tienda, and right now they are dirt cheap. So take advantage of this special offer because I don't know how long these deals are going to last. So that's why I'm saying get on it. Get on it ASAP. All right. Well, it seems like Elena has stumped everybody. Desconcertar, dejar sin palabras. It seems like she has stumped everybody. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll leave it open for a little bit longer. What we can do in the meantime is we can take a look at Name That Movie. And then if nobody knows it, well, we'll solve it together. All right. So it's, oye, no le des mucha caña. Recuerda que lleva cargando con el muerto, cubriendo el puesto, sacando las castañas del fuego, comiéndose el marrón últimamente. Okay, so it's to compensate for someone that's missing. Okay, so maybe one of your colleagues is on sick leave and you have to cubrir el puesto, pero también es comerte el marrón, ¿no? Porque estás haciendo el trabajo de otro. Okay, so a great idiomatic expression. In fact, in both cases, they are idiomatic expressions. All right, there you go. Hey, hang on. Before we go to Name That Movie, we might have a winner here. Born to Iron Man is taking a stab at it. He says, hey, cut him some slack. He's been picking up the slack lately. Ladies and gentlemen, Born to Iron Man is not a slacker. Wow! Now, a slacker es un vago. I think of like a surfer. Hey, we were talking about boards, surfboards, snowboards. I'm not saying surfers are slackers, but, you know, that's the stereotype there. So, holgazán, vago, okay? So, slacker, it's actually a movie as well, Slacker. So, yes, cut me some slack means no me des tanta caña, no? And slack, if you think about it like a garden hose, okay, una manguera, right? I need some more slack. Necesito más que me des más cuerda ahí, ¿no? Slack, a ver cómo lo ponen. Tensar las sogas. Bueno, eso es la segunda parte. Ok, but slack, vamos a ver, lo ponemos a secas. La parte suelta, la cuerda floja. Ok, so think about it. Si no estás tenso, eres la parte floja. So cut me some slack. Eso es, dame un poco más de manguera. Necesito más. Aquí, cut me some slack. No me des tanta caña. And then he's been picking up or taking up, los dos te valen, to pick up the slack or to take up. Piénsalo. Está otra vez esa manguera y se va uno, so you see some slack. Se baja una parte y tienes que levantar esa parte. Wow. This is somebody who is not a slacker. Give it up for him. Born to Iron Man. And Elena, excellent suggestion. Remember, if you guys have any suggestions for our double trouble, you can send them to the same email address you send your question of the week, which is Alonso, son dos A's, Alonso at grupovon.com. All right, it's time for Name That Movie. Name That Movie. Yes. All right, here we go, my amigos. In New York City, a case of mistaken identity turns a bored, ya sabemos pronunciar esto, aburridos, están aburridos. No es que aburren, right? Because then they would be boring. Maybe they are boring people, but right now it says they're bored. Están aburridos. So in New York City, a case of mistaken identity turns a bored married couple's attempt at a glamorous and romantic evening into something more thrilling and dangerous. Ooh. All right. Sounds exciting. So, a case of mistaken identity, identidad equivocada, no? Oh, we think he's this guy, but he's not really this guy. It's very common in Hollywood films to see this plot. And it turns a bored married, no married, married, quita la E, cuando lo ves en tu cabeza, married. It turns a bored married couple's intento, at a glamorous and romantic evening into something more thrilling and dangerous. All right, let's take a look at the scene over here in the meantime, and we'll see if anybody knows it. Phil says, hey, zip your face. Now, let me tell you something. Nobody says that. We say zip it, right? Zip it is calla, que es cremallera, no? Cerrar con cremallera. To zip it up or to unzip it. Okay, your fly, tu bragueta, por ejemplo. Okay? So he says it in like a weird way, which it's not common. He goes, hey, zip your face. And Tay says, zip my face? Como no se cree la expresión que acaba de usar, porque it's not, he's kind of, sounds weird. It doesn't sound natural. It would just be zip it or zip it up, zip it, but not zip your face. And Tay says, zip my face? Are you serious? And Whippet says, yeah. He said, zip your face. And Tay says, that's your best line? Esa es tu mejor frase, right? Remember, a comeback, I like this one. A comeback is cuando tú le dices a alguien, pues tal, pues tal, 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 tal. That's a comeback. Se lo devuelves. Okay, he goes, that's your best line? That's your best tough guy line? De duro, tu mejor frase, de duro. And Phil says, you heard me. Zip your face. And then Tay says, why don't you just zip your vagina, Raymond Burr? Vagina, I don't have to tell you what that word means, do I? Vagina, we say vagina. So he's saying, yeah, te voy a usar lo mismo, como que vaya frase más, and Raymond Burr, Raymond Burr, why is he calling him that? Oh, sure, Raymond Burr, he wrote, he did Perry Mason. Okay, Perry Mason, Raymond Burr. So he calls him Raymond Burr, I guess not in a nice way. He goes, why don't you just zip your vagina, right? And then Phil says, I have no idea how to respond to that. No sé cómo responderte a eso. And he goes, F you. F you is, we say the F word is F-U-C-K. So F you means que te den, sin decir la palabra. And he goes, F me? F you. And Phil says, no, F you. And Tay says, F you, man. What are you doing here? ¿Qué haces tú por aquí? And Phil says, F you, mother effer. So obviously the guy's trying to be like vulgar, but it's not working. He's trying to be a tough guy, and he's kind of like Flanders in The Simpsons, basically. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a winner. She is picking up the slack for the movie queen, cubriéndole el puesto. It's lovely, Laura. The movie's called Date Night. And it's a movie that stars Steve Carell and Tina Fey. Steve Carell from The American Office and Tina Fey of Saturday Night Live fame. Tina Fey, very, very talented, and also Steve Carell, two extremely funny and talented people. And the movie is called Date Night. It came out in 2010. Laura says, I've seen it. It's a funny one. Yeah, I've seen it too. And it actually is quite funny. All right. Excellent job. Also, that could be Noche de los Dátiles. Dates, date or fechas, pero también dátiles. Okay. All right. You want jokes? You got jokes.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar.
You're joking.
That's right, amigos. You're joking here on the show with no name. All right, let's take a look at this. You're joking. Now, these are surfer jokes. Remember, we don't say surf. Piensa que esa palabra es como una E. De hecho, es un homófono para la palabra surf. O sea, S-E-R-F and S-U-R-F suenan exactamente igual. And surf es siervo, sirviente, right? I think of the days when there was the... what is it called? You had the landowners, the feudal system, okay? And you had the serfs. So same sound there, all right? Let's see if you get these surfing jokes. What did the wave say to the surfer? What did the wave say to the surfer? Have a swell time. No. Well, swell means genial, bonito. De hecho, es tan anticuado la palabra que suena ahora como irónico. How was the meeting? Oh, swell. Okay. Pero antiguamente en los 50, hey, he's a swell guy. Swell. Hablando de Flanders, una palabra que usaría Flanders. So swell, genial, estupendo, magnífico, right? Again, now it's so antiquated that when we say it, it almost sounds like you're saying, genial, qué bonito, perfecto, right? Swell. But also to swell is to get bigger, aumentar, intensificarse. A swell in the ocean is oleaje. Piensa, las olas empiezan a intensificar. So you get it now? Swell, oleada, oleaje, swell. What did the wave say to the surfer? Have a swell time. All right, another one. Why do surfers eat cold food? Why do surfers eat cold food? Because they hate microwaves. No, they hate microolas, olas pequeñas, microwaves. All right. Not the best jokes in the world. You could even say these jokes are Swell. All right, folks, it's time to move on, though. It's time for famous birthday trivia.
One, two, three. It's birthdays for you. It's birthdays, birthdays for me. It's birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Oi, oi, oi. It's birthdays for him. It's birthdays for her. It's birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
All right, let's get right into it. Number one, this guitarist, songwriter, and producer from the United States is a founding member of the group A Perfect Circle. If you're familiar with that group, they're awesome. It's the side project of Maynard Keenan from the group Tool, which Tool significa herramienta, gilipollas y verga, by the way. O sea, han jugado con todo ahí. But yeah, that's right. And well, A Perfect Circle, hablando de El Mar, their debut album is called Mer de Noms. Mer siendo mar, right? Mar de Nombres. Mer de Noms. Their music is really, really good. If you're a fan of hard rock and you like that sound, well, Tool, A Perfect Circle, very different sounds, but similar, right? If you like that genre, then you will enjoy A Perfect Circle. I like both. I like Tool and A Perfect Circle. Well, this is the guitarist and founder of A Perfect Circle. Number two, this American actress, producer, and screenwriter. She's won so many accolades. She appeared on SNL, Saturday Night Live, and that was from 1997 to 2006. She was a head writer, performer, and the co-anchor of the Weekend Update section with another awesome communicator and comedian, Amy Poehler. In fact, they are great friends. They've done movies together as well. And she's been in so many movies: Mean Girls, Peliculón, Baby Mama, Date Night, which we looked at, so I just said her name, Sisters, Muppets Most Wanted, and so many more. And last but not least, this American singer, songwriter, guitarist, and former surfer. Yeah, hey, we looked at surf jokes. Well, this guy plays a variety of styles. Now he's known more as a musician because he had an accident when he was surfing. But instead of resting on his laurels, he decided to turn his life around and dedicate it to his other passion, which is music. And his music is like pop, rock, acoustic, folk, surf rock, como lo llaman. And yeah, the guy's really, really talented. And he's got a cool name. I like his name, too. He's got that surfer / artist name. All right, let me give them to you because we don't have much time, folks. Number one is Billy Howerdel from A Perfect Circle. Number two, the extremely funny and talented Tina Fey. And number three, Jack Johnson, really good singer, also was a great surfer back in the day. And that's going to bring us right to our Say What soundbite. This is Jack Johnson talking about how he wrote some of his songs. And he's talking about bouncing ideas off of his wife, como hemos visto. He says, you know, she gets pretty used to me. Ya se acostumbra a mí. She's always been a part of the process, actually. No proces, right? We said process. She's always the first person I bounce it off of. Okay, le comparto la idea, a ver su opinión. So sometimes she gives me full attention. And other times, well, she kind of like won't give me the reaction I'm looking for, maybe. So here he is, birthday boy, Jack Johnson.
And you know, I mean, she gets pretty used to me. She's always been part of the process, actually. She's always the first person I bounce it off of. So sometimes she gives me full attention. Other times she kind of like won't give me the reaction I'm looking for, maybe.
All right, that applause is for you. What a wonderful job, folks. Keep up the great work, and don't forget to participate in our question of the week. We're going to say goodbye with an amazing song by A Perfect Circle. It's a song called The Hollow, El Hueco, El Vacío. Thank you so much, everybody, and we'll be back tomorrow with more. I promise. Ciao for now.